Well, there's all kinds of burning rumors and innuendo that the Dodgers may have a sidebar deal in place, that they're not ready to make the determination, and they may ask the arbitrator, or they may ask Trevor Bauer's lawyers to agree to an extension a little bit farther. It is interesting, though, because there are inside reports the Dodger players want Trevor Bauer back. They're allowed, they would allow the Dodgers to bring him back. Maybe it's under certain conditions. During the course of this suspension, while he was under investigation, there was a sentiment. Believe the sentiment was led by Justin Turner, the departed third baseman who's gone to the Red Sox, not to bring this guy back in this clubhouse. I think that may have changed a little bit because he paid such a fierce price with the suspension, the loss of his credibility, the enormous amount of money that he lost while he was suspended under investigation. At this point, there's a reality here, too. Left hand says, Dodgers, you're going to let this guy come back? You're the same Dodger ownership that pulled out of the Carlos Correa negotiations because of what he did in the sign stealing case. So you're holding Correa to a standard of honesty, but you'd let this guy back in your clubhouse. So that's what the left hand says. The right hand side says they need pitching depth. Now, I do think if they bring him back, couple him with the ex-Met Noah Syndergaard and the 5 young arms they think are going to surface, 1 or 2 of them out of Oklahoma City, they could have a pretty good pitching staff. Because I have no doubt that Syndergaard, 2 years removed from surgery, might be the Syndergaard we used to see with the Mets. And there's no doubt that Bauer is going to show up and he's going to pitch. Whether or not he's accepted by everybody is another argument. So I think there's a reality here of what can they be on the field if he rejoins them with the ex-Met free agent that they have just signed, with the 4 pitchers they returned from last year, and Ryan Pepio or any of the young kids from Oklahoma City. Fascinating story as to what the Dodgers should do. And on top of that, the LA Times ran a week-long survey. 19,000 people took part in the survey. Do you want Trevor Bauer back? And it was just like the survey I ran on my mini poll on my website, leehacksawhamilton.com. Almost even, Stephen. 51.2% of the LA Times respondents said, bring him back, retain him. 48.8% responded, release him. Kind of split right down the middle. So I'm not sure what Mark Walter, Andrew Friedman, and the other leadership of the Dodgers will do, but I've laid out the plans of what used to be the atmosphere, what the atmosphere is right now, how people are responding, and then the reality of here's your roster. What are you going to do? Go forward without him or go forward with him and Syndergaard to be part of it? So you're a big-time baseball fan. Take your Giant jersey off. Just tell me what you think they should do.
Well, I mean, if I'm the owner of the team, I cut them loose because, we have to separate the legality versus the business part of this. Because and there's the athletic sports angle to it as well. Legally, apparently he's innocent, right? That's kind of how the investigation shook out.
Never got charged.
But from a business perspective, this guy just brings a dust storm of controversy wherever he goes. I mean, even when the Dodgers signed him originally, the fans were kind of fired up because of all this drama that comes along with him. And it's not just this woman that was involved. There's been other women that have made accusations. And he's just a divisive figure, and it's 50-50, right? So that's the definition of divisive. If I'm the Dodgers, I find a way to unload him. If they could parlay a trade so it's not just a complete salary dump, that would be the best case solution for the Dodgers. There are a lot of fans that want to bring him back, and as a pitcher, you would assume that he would be great, but he hasn't pitched in 2 years. So is he going to be the same guy? We don't know.
There's a $22 million contract that would still have to be paid. I don't think anybody would trade for his toxic personality. Not to say he can't change. If I were King, if I were the Dodgers and you were Trevor Bauer, you will apologize. You will give me back a chunk of the salary that you were paid while on administrative leave. That will go towards charity. I will pay you the final $22 million to be on my team. You will not step out of line. You will go to counseling. Those are the parameters if Trevor Bauer wants to be a Dodger. Because as I said last week, I don't think anybody's going to trade for his toxic history, because that is stapled to his resume for the rest of his life,
Mhm.
just like the Deshaun Watson incidents in Houston are stapled to his resume for the rest of his NFL career. But if you can pitch, even if though you might be public enemy number one, but you give me those concessions, I'll let you back on my team. You're looking at me strange. You don't agree, but that's okay. You're entitled to your
Well,
opinion,
that's a
even if it's wrong.
yeah. I mean, well, there's a lot of conditions to that as well, and Bauer is still going to be who he is. It's going to be he might try to be the calm and contained Bauer, but in a month or two, you're going to start seeing more of the same stuff from that
Loaded
guy.
question.
Yeah.
Loaded question here. Trevor Bauer outcome equal to Colin Kaepernick outcome? Are they one and the same, or is it so two radically different things? Because we know the end result with this former star quarterback of the 49ers.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, Kaepernick was blacklisted by the whole NFL. I think that's pretty clear.
Wrongly.
Yeah, wrongly, of course, absolutely wrongly. But I think in the case of Bauer, if the Dodgers cut him loose, someone else will pick him up because they're going to get him at the major league minimum.
You think anybody else's fans are going to like that other team taking this guy on with all the junk that's come out of his mouth and what he's put on social
Oh, I
network?
think so. I think if you look at some of those big money teams on the East Coast, Philly, the Yankees, I mean, he could show up there very easily.
Despite what's stapled to his resume?
Yes.
You're entitled to your opinion,
Yeah.
but your opinion's probably wrong.